Right, kids, here we go for Saturday of the Ebor Festival at York. Been a good week for me so far, and the boss give me Friday off. But don't worry, I'm back and firing on all cylinders for Saturday's card. Now, the usual playbook, the last two races out of the way, then revert to the start of play. Ready? For the listed Julia Graves Roses Stakes, it'll be Dubai Champion for me. Well, I gave you Dubai Champion for the Sky Bet Nursery on Wednesday, but withdrawn on account of unsuitable ground. Here we go again. Into a listed race, but at least the going should be fine, though it does seem to me he's up against it with Rebecca Menzies' Adonis well tipped up for this 5 furlong dash, and I will expect a big run from Rafe Beckett's Dancer Jig too. OK, I've had a good week, and so has Ryan Moore, so I'll take my chance on Wednesday's nursery selection, Dubai Champion. In the closer, the Sky Bet Dav Reed Finale Handicap. It would be nice to finish with a winner, right, here at York. So, with George Scott at the top of his game, William Buick booked for the ride and ground to suit, let's go for Al Ali, because nothing seems to have stopped him in his last 2 runs, showing plenty of toe in the Chesterfield Cup Handicap at Goodwood last time out. I do like the appeal of Roger Varian's Rami, who despite top weight has been at the head of the betting this week, and Carl Burke's Thunder Run would be my huge each-way gamble, if that's your bag, though always keep an eye on Jamie Spencer in these big field handicaps, so Richard Fay, He's Have Secret, joins the list. Yep, it's been a great week for us here at ULO, so one last throw of the dice on a nice price chance, so Al Ali it is. Good luck. Saturday's nap, well, no questions over the winner of the Melrose here. It's got to be Joseph O'Brien's Limestone, despite shouldering top weight. Limestone didn't quite show his best at Group 1 level in the Grand Prix de Paris last time out, but over this longer trip was the nap for both me and Caroline for the Queen's Vase at Ascot's Royal Do, and that's the version I want to see Joseph O'Brien send out here for the Melrose. Topping the market on Friday is William Haggis's Infrared, who always puts in a good shift and could be seen in the St Leger at Doncaster next month. Andrew Balding's Mythical Bay seems to be in a purple patch, and Oisin Murphy is up top to do what he does best, so rounds off my list, but Limestone gets the vote. Caroline, are we on the same page again?
Yes, we are, Jaysella, and I do think that this is all about the trip for Joseph O'Brien's Queen's Vase winner. With Causeway being sent off to make the pace in the Grand Prix de Paris, I did think that over that 12 furlongs, Limestone should not have chased that early pace, so back up to this trip, I can see Ryan Moore keeping him switched off until the last half mile. For me, this is my bet of the day, so Limestone to win when not chasing the pace, and no one better than Ryan Moore to read that.
My next best on Saturday goes in the City of York Stakes. The class act of this field is Notable Speech, so if there ain't no more downpours from Friday afternoon on, he could be hard to beat. For all that, this is a lineup packed with talent, so old Charlie Boy's 2,000 guineas winner better be right back to his best after not really firing in the Queen Anne Stakes at Royal Ascot, a race won by Ed Walker's outsider, 10 Bob Tony. He's here in the flesh as a reminder, by the way, and ain't out of it either. But I've got to tell you, William Haggis's Lake Forest won the Lennox Stakes over this 7 furlong trip at Glorious Goodwood, so last year's second could figure from a decent draw in 5. Then I've got Andrew Balding's Flora of Bermuda down as my big each-way gamble of the week, cause no way should she be offered at 18-1. No way. Oisin Murphy's up top, and after scoring over this trip at Goodwood last time out, must fancy his chances. Yeah, I guess in the end, Notable Speech does look fairly solid as favourite, with Zavateri, another best, at 7 furlongs going to be thereabouts, while Lake Forest ain't far off this level in a real thriller, with Flora of Bermuda, my each-way steal. Caroline?
Oh yes, Jaysella, this is the most fascinating race of the day, and since being upgraded to a Group 1, it has its place in the racing calendar. But I'm of the opinion that although Notable Speech drops back to this 7 furlong trip, being thought of as an out-and-out miler, some think his front-running style will be the key. I think he will meet his match with Eve Johnson-Houghton's Zavateri. He is the sprinter that can get this extra furlong. More than Notable Speech will benefit from this shorter trip to my mind. So it's Zavateri that I do think will win this.
Quite a tricky opener, I reckon, the Strensall Stakes. But Richard Hannon's Persica won't be far away, so that's where I'm going to stick my pin. Been around for quite a while now, after 21 career starts, but showed there's probably more improvement to come when rocking up in the Steventon Stakes at Newbury last month, so worth a try in a group contest for last year's winning yard. There'll be plenty of money down for John and Thady Gosden's Demesis, who could be at his best over this 9-furlong trip, but giving weight away to all don't exactly help, and neither does too much cut in the ground. Plus, first-time cheek pieces could suggest the trainer is running out of ideas. No, I think the safer bet is the admittedly fully exposed Persica, who likes this trip and should go well on this track, with Carl Burke's Hankelo my each-way snip. For the big one, a really, really hot handicap this, the 2026 Ebor, as it should be, I suppose. I mean, the sponsors ain't going to chuck in 300 grand prize money for a bunch of also-rans, are they? So, let's go through the main players. Firstly, Willie Mullins' Love Me Tender. Bought out of Peter Sheargan's yard for €180,000, this is obviously one aimed at this race, as Willie has been targeting these valuable handicaps for some time now. Shortening in the markets all week, can the Master of Closutton pull it off again, after doing it with Ethical Diamond last year? Emit Joseph O'Brien's Too Darn Hot Gelding has Ryan Moore for the journey, and don't care what happens under his feet, and has been well backed in. Chance? Tarriance, Andrew Balding's Frankel-sired 4-year-old, looks to have been aimed at this and weren't knocked about when fourth in the summer handicap at Goodwood 3 weeks ago. He did win the Melrose over course and distance last year, so saved for this, I reckon. Big player. Class leader is there for William Haggis, who also runs top weight opportunity, and to my eyes must have a great chance to win. Top Ebor trainer, very workable weight, Tom Marquand getting the leg up, what's not to like? Beyond that, the Golden Horn Gelding, Paddy the Squire has stamina to spare, Alan King's Deckery Bay can't seem to run a bad race this summer, and there's been a bit of chatter about Kevin Philippart de Foy's Square Necker. Right then, that's all for my long shortlist. But I'm going for class leader, as there's naught the Somerville Lodge handler would love more than an Ebor win in his own county. For the Constantine, I'm going to take my chance on Stratus 9 to win over this 6 furlongs after a decent 6th on Wednesday here in the Hong Kong Jockey Club World Pool Handicap. He came from a wide draw there, doing best of them that were from the unfavoured high stalls, so given another chance on Saturday, where the extra furlong must help Hugo Palmer's far above Gelding, who likes York and could nick a bit from the softer going. I reckon a return to last month's course and distance win ain't out of the question, despite the quick turnaround, so that's my case for. Of course, Wednesday's winner of that HKJC race, Air Force One, lines up again from another low draw, so must be on your list, but I do think the Tim Easterby's Red spells danger for Stratus 9, so to speak, if there ain't too much cut in the ground. Hamad Al-Jahani's Evening Saigon has been tipped up a bit, so I suppose you should have a second look, but Hugo Palmer's Stratus 9 gets a second chance from me.